before we start, so just bear with us for a moment. Whilst we're waiting for any kind of final few people to join, I'll just give you a bit of a kind of intro to the platform. I'm sure many of you have used this for other sessions during this week of postgraduate taught open events, but there is a chat function. For those of you not too familiar with the platform, there's a chat function that you can access in the bottom right hand corner. It's kind of a speech bubble icon, and you can click on that if you have any questions or comments or thoughts that you want to share throughout the presentations today. So yeah, feel free to have a look at that and correspond with other prospective students. I will also just make you all aware that we are recording today's session. Perfect. So I think it looks like we don't have anyone else waiting to join, so I think we will make a start at this point. So welcome, thank you very much for joining us. I'm your facilitator for today's session. My name is Sarah Hope and I'm one of the marketing managers here at Warwick Medical School. And we're really delighted to see you this morning. As I've mentioned, there is the chat function available should you have any questions. We also have our wms.courses@warwick.ac.uk email address, which you can see on the screen on that slide there. If you have any questions following the event, you want any further information about any of the courses you hear about today, please do get in touch with us and we'll be more than happy to help. I've already mentioned that today's session is being recorded. So at this stage, I will hand you over to Professor David Davies. So David is our Director of Postgraduate Taught Studies here at Warwick Medical School. And David will be giving a bit of an overview and an introduction to Warwick Medical School and the postgraduate taught programmes that we have available. So David, over to you.
Thanks, Sarah. And a very warm good morning from the UK and good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are in the world if you're not here in the UK. So as Sarah introduced, my name's David and I'm the Director of Postgraduate Studies here at Warwick Medical School. And I'm very pleased to welcome you to this information session about some of our fantastic courses. So you join us this morning in a very auspicious year because it's actually the university's anniversary year. The university was founded 60 years ago this year. And by coincidence, the medical school was 25 years old as well also this year. So it's a double celebration for us. And in those 25 years, we've got a track record of working with medical students as our partners. And the PGT courses that you'll be hearing about this morning, they all run with that same ethos of partnership with student working. So our education approach draws on our strengths as an interdisciplinary medical school with research and teaching experts across the health sciences, social sciences, biomedical sciences, and clinical service delivery as well. All of our courses draw on the following strengths and features. They all emphasize small group learning activities, giving opportunities to learn with and from each other. All of our courses, we think, are curiosity driven and focus on solving real world problems. And they're all based on our world-class research and research strengths of the school. So we are very proud of the research strength and how it informs all of our education programs. So other reasons why you should be considering Warwick Medical School at the University of Warwick, these are just some of our most recent awards, which we're very proud of. We were winner of University of the Year in the Midlands here in the UK for 2026. So that's great because we're just at the end of 2025 and that's in the Times and Sunday Times Good University Guide. We were recently the winner, highly commended in the Russell Group University of the Year for 2026. We're ranked 7th overall in the UK and 13th for medicine. And the University of Warwick as a whole is the 4th most targeted university in the UK in the graduate market. So all of our graduates go on to really terrific career prospects after, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in a slide or two. So all of our programs are designed and led by practicing clinicians, educators and researchers. So by joining us, you'll benefit from the expertise of those working right at the forefront of their fields, and that's certainly one of the strengths of Warwick Medical School. We offer specialist pathways and a number of our courses that will enable you to tailor your studies to your ambitions and your interests. You'll join a diverse, welcoming community of students and staff, leading to a rich learning environment. You'll also benefit from the prestige of Warwick's global reputation and build up on your networks that span continents. We've got an alumni network of more than 300,000 alumni now, all across the world, in most countries of the world, working in a whole range of industries, and you'll join that very prestigious alumni network. In the recent 2025 Postgraduate Taught Student Survey, we achieved 98% satisfaction rate for all our courses, which is something we're very proud of. And in a little while, you'll hear from our excellent Masters in Public Health that was recently ranked 2nd in the UK, 9th overall in the world, which is tremendous for that programme. You'll hear from the course director in just a couple of minutes. And what's more, by joining Warwick Medical School, you'll be joining one of the top 10 UK universities and one of only 24 universities in the prestigious research-led Russell Group. So these are our taught postgraduate courses on the screen now, and we offer programs across an array of health and science focused subjects. Some of these programs are available for part-time study, which might be relevant for some of you, and we also provide a graduate entry medicine program, but that program's not the focus of this session this morning, although we do have people on hand if anyone has any questions about that program. Studying with us will enable you to develop a wide range of transferable skills and will provide you with the springboard you need to hit your career targets. Our graduates go on to pursue different career choices right across the world. And on screen now are just some examples of the world-leading organisations that our graduates have gone on to work for. And you can see some very familiar and prestigious organisations there, and many more besides. And on this screen, you can see just some of the jobs and roles and careers that our recent postgraduate graduates have gone on to do. Whether you want to stay in science as a researcher, work in healthcare, become an academic, maybe teach on the course yourself after you've graduated, or go into management. There's a whole range here of career pathways in which you can go on to. As well as scholarships available across the whole of the university, and hopefully you will have had some sessions during this postgraduate week about scholarships. There are some scholarships available specifically for Warwick Medical School programs. So depending on the course that you're potentially interested in, please do ask us or reach out to the team and we can discuss your eligibility for any of those scholarships. If you're a Warwick graduate, or indeed if you work in the National Health Service in the UK, then we can offer you a 10% discount on the tuition fees if you sign up for a full master's programme with us. And there's a link there to all of the scholarships and bursary opportunities that the University of Warwick and Warwick Medical School offers, and hopefully you will have had a session on that already. But don't just take my word for all the excellent reasons why you should join Warwick Medical School. Here are some quotes from some recent and current postgraduate students here at Warwick. And I'm not going to read all of these out, but just to pick a couple of highlights. Carla, who's a public health student, describes the course as incredibly enriching and a transformative experience for her. Richard, who's studying on our Masters of Medical Education, feels that the course has given him confidence, insight, and practical tools that he can put into action. And Nikki, who's on our Interdisciplinary Biomedical research student, really feels that the course offers a close-knit community that has allowed her to form strong bonds throughout the year. And I'll pause just for a second for you to read some of the other quotes from other students. So this is our call to action, and these are the next steps for you. I've given you just a very brief overview of some of the excellent reasons why you might want to sign up to a course. And in a second, I'm going to hand over colleagues who will tell you in a bit more detail about the courses that they lead. So we invite you to research your course options and do get in touch. This session this morning is an excellent opportunity to ask any questions that you have, and we've got a team on hand who will hopefully be able to answer them or signpost them you to the right destination. You can ask us today and online. Check your entrance requirements and the application deadlines for the course that you're interested in. And of course, we're very much looking forward to receiving your application. So without further ado, let's hear from some of our fantastic courses, and let's start with our award-winning Masters in Public Health. So I'm going to hand you over to my colleague, Dr. Saran Shantikumar.
Hello, everyone. I'm just going to take control of the slides. There we go. Hi, my name's Saran. I'm a public health consultant and an associate professor at Warwick Medical School. Just want to talk to you briefly about the Masters in Public Health. And there are kind of two questions I'd like to answer. Firstly, why would you bother doing an MPH, and why would you choose to do it at Warwick? So doing an MPH in principle, and I'm going to use some public health terms here, but there is a need for improvements in healthcare, and that's true in any setting or any country you're working in. But also there is a demand for leadership within public health. So in terms of the job market, graduates from MPHs still have opportunities both within and outside of healthcare. But during a Masters in Public Health, you would develop systems level understanding. So you are someone that has a broad overview of health systems within healthcare and outside healthcare settings. But you also build epidemiological, statistical, research, and analytical skills, which are crucial whether or not you decide to pursue a career in academia or not. In an MPH, you will also strengthen your transferable skills. So leadership, teamwork, communication, debating. And so an MPH therefore allows you to transfer into leadership roles, even if they're not inside healthcare. Most crucially, an MPH positions yourself to work globally. Now, we have many international students that come to Warwick, many of whom don't want to stay in the UK, want to either work in their own countries or elsewhere, but having an MPH allows you to do that. The main reason to do an MPH is to make a difference, whatever you end up doing. So here's why you might want to choose Warwick. So David has already mentioned our MPH rankings, but let me tell you a bit more about specific things to our course, which are different to other MPH courses. Firstly, all our modules run in blocks. What that means is rather than doing 2 or 3 modules at the same time, where you have 1 day a week on different modules, we run each module over a 2-week period. So what that means is you can focus on one thing at any one time and then focus on one assignment at any one time. It makes time management a lot easier. We have an optional module where you have the opportunity to work with an external organization, work placement. So for people that have no experience of public health coming onto the course, it gives them something that they can talk about during future interviews, but also insight into the public health workplace. We don't have any exams. That's a big bonus when you have to learn about statistics. And our dissertation is still a research-focused dissertation, but unlike most masters, you don't have to write 10 or 12 or 15,000 words. In fact, the way we ask people to submit their research is through a 4,000-word written report in the same way that you might submit to a journal for publication and a poster of the type that you might present at an academic conference. The reason for this is that many of our students decide that they want to publish their papers or present their posters at real conferences and in real journals, and this gives them the opportunity to do so. We also have a transferable training skills course. So this runs outside of the MPH, and we offer it to all postgraduate taught students. But it allows people to position themselves for when they're applying for jobs. It's not just the fact that you have a master's in public health that's important, it's the fact that you can demonstrate that you're a good communicator, that you can work in teams, that you can debate and critical think on the spot, because that's what employers are ultimately looking for. But finally, I think that the main reason to choose Warwick is student support. People come to Warwick, maybe coming from outside the UK, maybe feeling homesick. There might be other issues that affect your ability to do the course. Most important thing to me and to my colleagues is that you're happy when you're here, that you feel well supported, but also that when you finish, you feel like you've achieved something and you're in a really good position to go out into the job market and reflect well on yourself, but also on us. So we have some core modules which cover the cornerstones of public health. So statistics, learning about disease prevention and infection, learning about health inequalities, and how to improve health in populations and manage that process. And the research project is also core, but we have lots of optional modules. I won't go through all of them, The idea is that each student can kind of choose their own pathway depending on what they're interested in and what they want to work in the future. So we have pathways around global and international health, a pathway around research, and a health services pathway. Although you have absolute free choice on which 3 optional modules you do. That's all I wanted to mention. If you'd love to talk more about the MPage, I'd be happy to be contacted by email, and we can set up a Teams or Zoom or phone call. Thank you very much. Chelsea, I'll hand over to you.
Thank you, Saran. So I will just take control. Here we go. Fabulous. So hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Chelsea Wood. I'm an assistant professor at Warwick Medical School and postgraduate taught deputy director for Translational Biosciences. And today I'm going to be overviewing the Biomedical Sciences programs that are available to you here at Warwick Medical School. So our first one is our Masters in Interdisciplinary Biomedical Research. The goal of this course is to prepare you for your next career stage, whether it's in academia or industry. It's a vibrant scientific community. You will gain knowledge in both life and physical sciences. You will be acquiring a multidisciplinary mindset and developing as a well-rounded scientist. This course also has optional modules, including those from chemistry and statistics, that allow you to broaden your scientific knowledge and skills, as well as sharing teaching with students on degrees within other disciplines, widening your network. So why this course at Warwick? It's a unique course. It's got that focus on cross-discipline development. During the year, you will undertake 2 12-week research projects in 2 different disciplines, training with the very best professional researchers in our cutting-edge state-of-the-art labs. This course is for graduates in the physical sciences or life sciences, who have an interest in biomedical problems and how to solve them. So we do have a QR code there that you can scan to take you to the page to find out more about this particular course. So our next course is our MRes in Translational Biomedical Research. This course is currently the only MRes offering at the University of Warwick in the space of biomedical research. It's distinct from MSc by research, which is just complete research, and a taught master's, which is mainly taught with limited research components. So this one is 75% of a research components dotted with some taught area. You will get a taster of 2 3-week projects prior to choosing your final long-term project to complete in one of the 4 thematic areas of reproductive biology, host pathogen interactions, cell and mechanobiology, and translational research. Again, you'll have optional modules that allow you to broaden your scientific knowledge and your skills. Why this course at Warwick? Well, why not graduate from a top 10 UK university? Similar to the other courses, you will train under the supervision of world-leading scientists and clinicians in our state-of-the-art labs, as well as building that international network. And with the MRes, we have some full-time and part-time options. And again, if you'd like to find out more, please scan the QR code. Our final course is our newest edition, and that is our Masters in Reproductive Science. This Masters follows an NHS England designed curriculum aimed at building the skills you need to drive change with clinically relevant and socially impactful training. You will have the choice to follow either a women's health or a clinical embryology route, but whatever route you choose, you will gain specific scientific and clinical expertise, insight and perspective to start your involvement in shaping the future of reproductive health worldwide. This course is for graduates in the biomedical sciences, healthcare professionals who want to expand their current knowledge, and even international students who are passionate about global health equity. So it's designed for those who want to make a meaningful impact in reproductive science and women's health. If you were to join on this course as part of Warwick Medical School, we are a global leader in biomedical and translational research, and you will be learning with and from experts at the Centre for Early Life and the Institute of Translational Medicine, particularly in that women's health mission. And again, if you'd like to find out more, please scan the QR code. So thank you very much from me, and I'm now going to hand over to Dr. Jenny Harlock.
Thank you, Chelsea. I'll just take control. So good morning, everybody, and apologies that you can't see me this morning, but hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm going to talk about our Masters of Research in Health and Care. So this MRes programme is a high-value, internationally recognised, research-intensive Masters programme that's been designed to prepare you to undertake health and care research in the future. So this is a new programme. It's in its second year that builds on a very strong foundation of health and care research at Warwick. And it's really ideal for people who are interested in pursuing a career in health and care research, either in academia or another type of policy or research organisation, and for people who want to undertake research as part of their wider role or professional practice. So our programme combines teaching with a large independent research dissertation to give both the theoretical and practical training in how to do research. And we do that through offering a flexible choice of 3 taught modules on research methods, which allows you to really specialise and develop proficiency in particular types of research and research approaches. And then that's followed by a research dissertation on a topic of students' choice. So this MRes programme really offers a lot more flexibility than a traditional Masters or MSc programme, and gives people the scope to really tailor their learning to suit their particular interests and needs. And it also has a unique interdisciplinary focus at Warwick. We're a rather unique programme in that this is for research in health and care. So it really sets you up to be able to do that in health or social care. And many of our academics have interdisciplinary backgrounds, and we have a very strong tradition of applied interdisciplinary research at Warwick, combining research through health and care sciences, clinical trials, medical sciences, and so on. So through the programme, you'll really develop your skills in how to do research, so technical skills in how to do research, but also analytical skills, research communication skills, and research management and leadership skills. So it's a really firm entry point into a future research career, and to enable you to positively impact and change health and care delivery policies and systems for the future. So who's the course for? So as I say, this is really for anybody who's interested in pursuing a career in health or care research, or undertaking research as part of their wider role or professional practice, and for people who want to really study or research a particular area of health or care in more depth. So our undergraduates come from a range of disciplines, including, for example, biology, organisation science, behavioural sciences, medical and health sciences, social work, education. And it's also ideal for people who are interested in perhaps doing a PhD in the future as a stepping stone to further doctoral study. And we also have health and care professionals undertaking the course who are interested in developing their research skills and doing research as part of their professional role. So a brief overview of the course structure. It's available as a 1-year full-time or 2-year part-time course, and it combines both face-to-face and online teaching with a lot of independent study through the dissertation. So the first part of the course is the choice of 3 taught modules, and you can see the selection of modules that we have there, covering different types of research approaches, from sort of qualitative research to epidemiology and statistics, health economics, general research and critical appraisal skills, and so on. So you can choose 3 taught modules, and then you get the chance to apply your learning through a substantive dissertation, which is 20,000 words dissertation on the topic of your choice. And you're supported by a very experienced supervisor but also you'd attend a range of workshop sessions with your fellow students to develop your thinking and skills. And our dissertation also includes the opportunity to discuss, as part of your assessment, your thesis with an expert panel in a mini sort of viva voce, which is a great chance to get feedback and discuss your thesis with experts. So that's an overview of the course. If you've got any questions, please do get in touch and have a look at our webpage there. That's available as well. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. So I will just take over presenting. Hi, hopefully you can hear me now. Thank you very much, Jenny. I will just share a little bit of information about our MBCHB programs. So we're aware that a few of you who have registered for today's session have shown an interest in our medicine program here at Warwick Medical School. So I'm just going to go through a couple of slides before we move to the Q&A. Yes, so just share a bit of information about this program. So as David mentioned earlier, we have been training doctors here at WMS for 25 years. And we're really proud to say that our graduate outcomes are amongst the best in the UK. We regularly place just behind Oxford and Cambridge for the situational judgment test results, and also for the percentage of our students who achieve their foundation placement choices at the end of the course. So we really are kind of proud of the work that we do here for the MBCHB. Let me just see if I can move slides. There we go. Yep. Sorry, a little bit of a delay at my end. Bear with me. So a few key features about the programme. It's an undergraduate programme, but it is graduate entry only. So to be able to study on the course, you do need to have completed a first degree before you can come and join us for the course. As mentioned on the previous slide, it is an accelerated programme. So our programme is 4 years rather than the traditional 5 years medical course. We do still cover everything that a standard medical programme covers, but you will just move through the work at a quicker pace. So it is quite demanding. We partner with 4 hospital sites locally and with approximately 80 GP surgeries, and they support us with our teaching and training of our students. All of the partner hospitals have purpose-built education spaces, so libraries, study rooms, and our students are able, excuse me, to shadow doctors and consultants, meet patients in the hospitals, and within the general practice surgeries as well. So lots of opportunities for our students to have patient contact. So what's special about our course? Why do we think that medicine at Warwick is something unique? So we are the largest graduate entry programme in the UK. We have 203 places on the course available, and it is, as I've mentioned, graduate entry only. So all of our students are coming post first degree. They're very focused, they're very dedicated to working really hard and getting the most out of the course and out of their experience. It's accelerated learning, so you do have to work hard. It is challenging, but you will benefit from graduating a year earlier than you would at many other institutions that are doing a more traditional 5-year programme. So we also are one of few medical schools that welcome applications from a range of different backgrounds, so different first degrees. So rather than only accepting applications from the traditional biomedical sciences route, we have students on the course currently that have studied a really broad range of first degree subjects. So we have people that have studied history, architecture, law, floristry, music, many more. So it really is a very varied course makeup. And we think that this actually creates a really rich learning environment. All of our students bring a wealth of experience and different perspectives. And that creates a really kind of interesting and diverse learning environment for our students. Early patient contact is something else that is a real focus on our course and something that we're really proud of. So our students are out in the community meeting patients from the very first term of year 1. And then this is followed by placements in term 2, where our students will learn to take practice history taking, and they'll start to kind of build on their examination skills. So really early on in the course, patient contact is built in rather than just the focus on the academic learning in those early days. We also feel that we have really high quality anatomy and clinical skills training at Warwick. In the last few years, we have opened a brand new clinical education hub, which has state-of-the-art facilities. So we have mock hospital wards that you can practice your clinical skills in. We have wet lab spaces, areas dedicated to learning surface anatomy. And we're also home to the UK's largest Von Hagen's plastinated specimens. So these are plastinated specimens that you can actually see in the picture on the right hand side there. And these are used to help our students really understand the anatomy of the human body. And our students' feedback that these are a really key learning tool for them. So yes, so we're home to the largest plastinated specimens collection. And then finally, case-based learning. So this is at the core of our curriculum across all 4 years of the MBCHB programme. And this enables our students to learn a particular topic by working through a mock patient case as a small group. So whilst you're developing that clinical knowledge about a particular topic, you're also actually building team working skills, communication skills, and problem solving skills. So we find this is a really useful way to teach our students. So in terms of next steps, if it is medicine that you are interested in studying with us here at Warwick, we do have some events coming up next summer, which is kind of still quite a few months ahead of the October deadline for applications. So we have 2 in-person open days in June 2026, and we will also be holding a virtual open event in July 2026, where you'd be able to hear from staff that teach on the course, more information about the admissions process, and also hear from some of our current students about their experience. You can see the URL there on the slide for our pages about the MBCHB programme. All information about the open days and the virtual event will be released on those pages probably next spring time. So you'll be able to kind of keep an eye there and book when you are and when those events become available if you're interested in this programme in particular. So that brings us to a close in terms of presentations. So I'm now going to invite the other speakers back to join me on the stage. And if anybody has any questions, there is the Q&A function at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. You can chat on that. It's kind of a little bubble icon. And you can enter any questions you may have for any of today's speakers or about any of our programmes here at Warwick Medical School into the chat, and we'd be more than happy to answer those. We do have some time now dedicated specifically back to a Q&A. So yeah, so please do add any questions you may have in on there. I'll just give it a moment or two to see if any questions pop up. So I don't think we've got any questions coming in at the moment, but I'll just give it a moment longer just in case someone is typing away. And obviously, if there aren't any questions, we have shared also all of our kind of details. We have shared kind of the email address for Warwick Medical School. I'll just recap that and add it to the talk into the chat in a second. It's wms.courses@warwick.ac.uk. So if you do also have any kind of questions after the event, you can always email us as well. We do have a question coming through. So a quick question about the graduate entry medicine programme. How are students with chronic illnesses supported? So I can kind of give you a bit of a top level answer to that, but then it probably would be best, Cara, if I put you in touch with some of the staff that lead on that programme. So we do offer lots of different support for our students across all of our courses, not just the medical programme, but on PGT taught and our undergraduate programmes as well. You would have a personal tutor that would be allocated to you at the start of the programme. So you would have regular touch points with them throughout your course so that they could support you, talk through any challenges you're facing. But we do like to think of ourselves as, you know, a kind of a welcoming and a supportive school. So I think we would definitely do what we could to support you with that. But I will also, you know, put this question to our MBCHB programme, and I do have your contact details, I think, from when you've signed up for this event, so I can get one of them to kind of give you a little bit more of a detailed overview about that. Okay. Any other further questions from anyone at all that we can help with? Okay, I'm not seeing anything popping up. Okay, on that case, I think we will start to wrap up the session. Thank you all so much for attending, and a big thank you to our speakers for giving up some time this morning to give a bit of an overview and an introduction to our medical school postgraduate taught programmes. It's been really interesting to hear about those in a bit more detail, and I hope it's been a useful experience for all of our attendees. As I've flagged, there is our wms.courses@warwick.ac.uk email address. So if you do have any follow-up questions post-event, do feel free to get in contact with us, and we'll be more than happy to help and point you in the right direction. Thank you again for attending, and I hope you all have an excellent rest of the day. We'll be closing the session now. Thank you all very much. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.